Okay, welcome to another edition of Carnivore Bites. I'm your host, Jeff Sherman, along with Dr. Eric Lopkin. And Dr. Lopkin, I think probably the biggest thing in this week's news is the Barr investigation, correct?
Yeah, um, Barr has taken the Attorney General of Connecticut and assigned him to investigate how the Trump investigation started and where the materials came from.
Shouldn't that have been done like 2 years ago?
You would think that would have been the first thing that had been done.
I actually think one of the worst decisions that President Trump ever made was Jeff Sessions.
Yeah,
Totally asleep at the wheel.
Sessions was
Total
absolutely useless. As soon as he
useless.
recused himself. Now, you have to question why he recused himself, given that the Mueller investigation found no collusion.
It
Why
was
was
so
he recusing
ridiculous.
himself?
He left the president exposed and naked. I agree with you. Trump can be an idiot, no doubt, but I agree with Trump. He must have been so frustrated with a bogus investigation, and you have Dumbia sitting around. All he cared about is illegal immigration, and I think it was First of all, it was a political appointment. He was not qualified to be Attorney General. It was payback, rewarding him.
Yes, it was. But then, to be fair, most political jobs are.
Oh, yeah, I'm not beating
That's
that up,
why
but
we're
yes.
in the state we're in, because we don't have qualified people in these jobs.
But Jeff Sessions was an embarrassment.
He really
So
was.
what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? I think this is my little pea brain opinion. I believe that this could embarrass many people and throw the whole witch hunt into the garbage can.
Oh, it's going to embarrass quite a lot of people. I mean, they've already found that the Justice Department withheld the source of the dossier when they went for the FISA warrant. So they lied to the FISA judges because they didn't want to tell them that the Clintons paid for the dossier that they were basing this investigation on.
Now, a lot of this also basically has repercussions concerning Obama, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, because most of this started out under his watch. This was his Justice Department that lied to the FISA court, that made up these charges based on the Clinton dossier. It's going to come back to him. Now, whether or not anything will happen with Barack Obama, it's doubtful because
Very. I
I mean,
mean,
let's
there's no
face
one
it.
who gets away with more stuff than him.
Right. I mean, he's
Impossible.
Teflon. Everything
He's
bounces
unbelievable.
right off of him.
Yes. So you think it has political repercussions? I agree. I believe you are correct. I don't think it'll get the press that it should, but it'll get enough to. I think President Trump should thank his lucky stars that Barr is his Attorney General.
Yeah,
I think with Jeff Sessions, I think Jeff Sessions was so incompetent. It was
I think Barr is
disturbing.
going to push this and find out what happened. I think the media is going to bury the investigation right up until Barr forces their hand with the conclusion.
Yes, they have to report that. There's just no way that they can't. Um, the other interesting slash troubling thing that's in the news is the trade war. What do you think about that, Dr. Lopkin?
Yeah, the deal between the US and China seems to be going nowhere. And to be fair, this is not unexpected because what we need from China is essentially for them to change their entire economic model and change their laws because they have been stealing intellectual property. They've been forcing American companies that want access to the Chinese market to partner with Chinese companies and prop them up. This has been happening. This goes way beyond the Trump administration. This has been happening since at least the Clinton administration. And
Oh, there's no question about it. It's
yeah,
gross negligence. It shows that the globalists, I mean, what are they thinking about?
yeah, no administration has done anything. No Republican administration, no Democratic administration. Trump is the first one to do it, and now is the time to do it. Because yes, the trade war is going to slow the economy. Trump's advisors knew this. That's why they pushed through the tax cut, they pushed through the regulation slashing early in his presidency so that the economy would be charged up enough so that when it slows, it's slowing to normal rates.
Here's where I disagree with you on Dr. Lopkin respectfully, that I believe that Trump just can't help himself. I think he would have been much better off to begin the process, do not do the tariffs yet, and wait for his second term.
No,
He just doesn't need it.
Now, I completely disagree with you because that's exactly what the Chinese are betting on. We're betting on. Even now, their whole game plan is stall until the Democrats take away Trump's power. Trump has to do it now. Actually, he had to start it earlier when he did.
No, but if Trump gets reelected, then he has carte blanche and he doesn't care about elections.
No, it doesn't matter because he gets reelected. The Chinese plan is stall to 2024. They're looking at this as a long-term plan.
Yeah, you're right. That's their orient. Good point. So in closing, where do you think this goes? That's the key question.
I think we're already starting to see results. There have been a number of companies who have moved manufacturing out of China. It's not coming back to the US like Trump would like, but it's going to other countries other than China that actually play by the rules. So you're starting to see it impact. For every,
who do you think is going to blink first?
I think the Chinese will blink first because for every dollar of impact it has on us, it has $3 or $4 of impact on them, and their whole economy is based on a house of cards. They can't keep it up as much as they would like. So
okay, last question.
They're going to collapse.
I get that, Lopkin, that their economy is based on a house of cards. What if Trump pushes it so much that the cards fall over? That could be troublesome in the global economy, couldn't it?
It'll definitely crash the global economy. That would actually push a global recession, closer up. However,
yes, no question about it.
As things are moving apart, the longer it goes on, the more companies will move their manufacturing out because that's a slow process.
Sure.
So the longer it goes on, the less of an impact that'll have.
Well, very good, Dr. Lopkin. We'll see how it all plays out until next week for another edition of Carnivore Bites.
See you then. You've been listening to Carnivore Bites, part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can catch us every week at exvadio.com/podcasts, on the iHeartRadio app, the Apple Podcasts app, the iTunes Store, Spotify, and wherever you find podcasts. You can also catch us live every Friday at 4 on WESU FM 88.1.